In this video, you will configure an SSL VPN tunnel that requires users to authenticate with a certificate. The certificate, username, and password are used for two-factor authentication. When authorized users connect through the SSL VPN tunnel, the FortiGate checks the user certificate against its CA certificate. The user can then securely connect to the internet and to resources on the internal network. This recipe requires that you have 3 certificates: a certificate authority or CA certificate, a server certificate signed by a CA certificate, and a user certificate signed by the CA certificate. The certificates used in this video were created using OpenSSL. First, go to System, Config, Features, and make sure that Certificates is turned on. If necessary, apply your changes. Go to System, Certificates to import the server certificate. This certificate is used for encrypting SSL VPN traffic and will be used for authentication. Select Import, Local Certificate. Set Type to Certificate. Choose the server certificate file and also choose the key file. Enter the password. You can also change the certificate name of the server certificate here if you would like. The server certificate now appears in the list of certificates. Next, you'll install the CA certificate. The CA certificate is the certificate that was used to sign both the server certificate and the user certificate. Select Local PC and then browse for the certificate file. The CA certificate now appears in the list of external CA certificates. In the example, it's called CA Cert 1. Go to System, Dashboard, Status. In order to use certificate authentication, PKI users must be created in the CLI. So open the CLI widget and enter the following commands: config user peer, edit RDS, set CA, CA_cert1, set subject, user 01, end. Make sure that the subject matches the name of the user certificate. Now that you have created a PKI user, a new menu has been added to the GUI. Go to User and Device, PKI, to see the new user listed. Edit the user account and expand two-factor authentication. Enable Require two-factor authentication and set a password for the account. Go to User and Device, User Groups, and create a group for SSL VPN users. Set the type to firewall, add the new user to the group. Select OK. Go to VPN, SSL, Portals, and edit the full access portal. This portal supports both web and tunnel mode. Enable tunnel mode, but make sure that split tunneling is not selected to ensure that all SSL VPN traffic will go through the FortiGate unit. Select OK. Go to VPN, SSL, Settings to configure the SSL VPN tunnel. Under Connection Settings, set Listen on Interface to WAN 1. To avoid conflicts, set Listen on port to 10443. Allow access from any host. Set server certificate to the authentication certificate and enable require client certificate. Under authentication portal mapping, assign the user group to the full access portal. Assign a portal for all other users and groups. For this example, we'll automatically assign addresses. Go to Policy and Objects, Policy, IPv4, to create a security policy allowing SSL VPN users to access the internal network. Select Create New and set Incoming Interface to SSL.root. Source address to all, and source user to the new user group. Set Outgoing Interface to the local network interface so that the remote user can access the internal network. Set Destination address to all, service to all, action to accept, enable NAT, and configure any remaining firewall and security options you would like. Select OK, and then add a second security policy to allow SSL VPN users to access the Internet. Set the incoming interface to SSL.root. Source address to all, source user to the SSL VPN users group, outgoing interface to WAN1, destination address to all, service to all, action to accept, and make sure that NAT is enabled, and configure any remaining firewall and security options you would like. You can see the Internet Access Policy and the policy for access to internal network resources. First, you must install the user certificate on the user's PC. Then, when the user attempts to authenticate, the user certificate will be checked against the CA certificate to verify that they match. Each user should have a unique user certificate so that you can distinguish each user and so that it is possible to revoke a user's certificate if they should no longer have VPN access. The installation instructions differ depending on what application is being used to connect to the VPN. Click the hyperlink to go to the written recipe on our Cookbook site for more details on each individual browser's installation requirements. In this example, we'll install the certificate using Safari and Firefox on Mac OS X. Open the certificate file and Keychain Access opens. Double-click the certificate, expand Trust, and select Always Trust. You just finished installing the user certificate. Now you can connect with FortiClient or a web browser. Certain browsers like Firefox have their own certificate stores. In this case, one more extra step is necessary. You must first install the certificate in the Firefox Certificate Store. Go to the Firefox menu, Preferences, select Advanced, and then select Certificates. View Certificates and import the User01 certificate. Enter the password. Now that you've installed the user certificate, open FortiClient to configure it to access the VPN. Go to Remote Access. Create a new SSL VPN connection. Set the connection name, remote gateway, and customize port. Enable the client certificate and select the authentication certificate, and enter your user credentials when requested. Open up Safari and browse to the SSL VPN portal. A message will appear requesting a certificate for authentication. Select the user certificate and enter your user credentials when requested. Click Connect to open up a connection. The tunnel is successfully up. Disconnect from the tunnel and open Firefox. Verify that you can also connect to the SSL VPN portal successfully. Select the user certificate and enter your user credentials when requested. Click Connect to open up a connection. The tunnel is successfully up. Now click to disconnect and open up FortiClient. Make sure you can connect to the VPN tunnel successfully and stay logged in. On the FortiGate unit, go to VPN, Monitor, SSL VPN Monitor. There are 3 users in the monitor list because there are still 2 web portals active in addition to the FortiClient tunnel. The 2 web portals are active since RDS is still logged in. FortiClient is still connected to the tunnel, which is why it is the only one displaying a subsession. Thank you for watching. For more information, you can access Fortinet's documentation library at docs.fortinet.com and check out cookbook.fortinet.com for more tutorials like this one.